This isn't an ordinary goal program. It is not an ordinary goals program. Most goals program wouldn't even suggest that you set the type of goals we're talking about. But I would imagine if Henry Ford had gone to a goals seminar, or Hedy Lamarr had gone to a goals seminar, or Edison had gone to a goals seminar, and they had told the people about the goals they were setting, the people would have told them that they were being unrealistic. You don't want to do that. Why will a person do what we're suggesting? I believe they do it because they really do understand. They may not have it clear in their mind that they could really articulate it to someone else, but they do understand that there is true greatness within us. It's not just words that they repeat. Like, you have to ask, where's Phil Goldfine? Where was he coming from? Now, Phil would probably been around, 34, 35 at the time I met him. So he'd been around the park for a little while. And we're talking and we're just shooting the breeze with each other. And he began to share his dreams. And I'm saying, well, you can do that. You can do that. How many saw the movie Chorus Line? God, it was such a great movie. You remember the little kid? He went with his sister to the dance, and he said, well, I could do that. I can do that. That was the kid's key line. I can do that. Well, when you're reading about Hedy Lamarr, I want you to think about her. She was a beautiful woman. But there's a lot of beautiful women that just lose, She was caught. She was in Austria, and she escaped on a bicycle when the Nazis started to move in. I mean, she didn't have time to take a trunk load of stuff with her. She was on a bicycle. When I saw her in the movie, she wasn't that old. I was in the 40s and the 50s. Where did she get the idea she could do what she was doing? Where'd she get it? She got it from the same idea that you're going to go to for your ideas. But what you've really got to understand, and you've got to understand it with some depth, you are programmed. You are definitely programmed to play it safe. You are. Most people my age are, they're programmed to take it easy. Just take it easy. You've worked hard, you deserve, just take it easy. That's a bunch of nonsense. What would you want to take it easy for? It's nowhere near as much fun as creating. I've often thought, when I'm in Amsterdam, I like to go to the museum and see Rembrandt's work, The Night Watch. It's one of the most magnificent pieces of art that you'll ever see. It's every bit as long as that screen is wide. And there's, I don't know how many people in it. I was listening one time to an art critic. He was being interviewed, and they said, well, how do you determine a masterpiece of art? He said, every part of it's perfect. And it stuck in my mind. So when I go there, I go over close to it, and I look at it. I've been there many, many times. In fact, a friend of mine bought a print of just a small section of it. I have it hanging over the fireplace. He gave it to me for a birthday. But every part of it, The dog's eyes, there's a little black and white dog. Its eyes are perfect. The fingernails are perfect. Every part of it. Yet you sit and it's so incredible. It has a hypnotic effect on you. You can't take your eyes off it. And I thought, I wonder how he must have felt when he felt it was finished. I wonder if he ever felt it was finished. I've often thought artists must think they're never finished. You know, a little shadow here or a little shadow there. I remember writing a script for a recording. Diane and I were working together. I love working with you. I really do. Well, the two of us just worked together so well in writing things. And we were talking about Michelangelo. And I don't know if you had read it or thought of it, or I read it or thought of it, one of us did. It stuck in my mind. I would love to take credit for it, but I think it was probably you. And he's working on David. And this buddy of his dropped by, and they're shooting the breeze, and David, of course, standing there, and he says, boy, he said, that's really something. That's really something. And Michelangelo says, well, I'm glad you like it. He says, I put a lot of work, but it's a long ways from being done. Well, anyway, his buddy went away, went on a trip, and he come back a few months later, and he came to visit him, and he, looking at David, he said, oh, he says, you haven't had time to work on him. Haven't worked on him? What are you talking about? Dr. I've done this work on him. I fixed that right eyebrow. The nostrils, I've got the nostrils just down pat now. And the hands, look at the hands. I got those knuckles right. It took me so long to get them right. Well, he said, yeah, but he says they're trifles. Well, he says they may be trifles, but trifles make perfection, and perfection is no trifle. That has always stuck in my mind. It would have to be you that thought it. I wouldn't have thought of that. But I like it. I love it. It's those kind of things that we want to attempt to keep in our mind whenever we're doing what we're doing. Every little part of it is very important, whether it's the knuckle or the nostril. It's very important. Yet you've got to be gutsy. Your age, your gender's got nothing to do with it. You see, we're programmed to earn and put away enough that when we get to a certain age, nobody's ever figured out what the certain age was, and then we can take it easy. You don't have to work anymore. See, it's obvious that we're programmed to think that we're made for working. We're not made for working. We're made for creating. We're creative. We're made different than any other form of life. We've been endowed with faculties that they blow your mind when you think it, and it's within us. We've got it. If we just do ordinary what everybody out there's doing, the doorman or the salad chef or something, we're never going to live up to our potential. Let's learn to give a little more. Let's learn to read a little more. Let's learn to think a little more. Let's learn to stretch. I love what Wooden said. He felt it was his obligation to do something every day for someone when he knew there would be no opportunity for them to reciprocate. That is such a magnificent concept. I mean, that should just turn our stem inside, should really get us jazzed. I know that when you think about it, you're the same as me. You realize our life is very important. It's our life. Yet it goes so fast. I was mentioning that I was talking to Mark Victor the other day, and I phoned him. It was his birthday, so I phoned him to sing happy birthday to him. And I said, Mark, I can clearly remember going to your 50th birthday. I said, how old are you? He was 71. It's 21 years ago. It's gone so fast. And that's the way 21 years goes. Now, to a 21-year-old, 21 years probably doesn't seem to go very fast, because it's their whole life. I think I figured out why time goes faster as you get older. If you're 5, a year is 20% of your whole life. That's a lot. That's a lot. You see? When you're 84, a year's only 1/84 of your whole life. Whoop! It's gone. Where the hell did it go? Just whoop! It's gone. Another one. My God. Whoop! Another one's gone. You start thinking, I better get busy. I might not have, whoop, another one's gone. You see? That's our life. Got to keep that in mind. You might ask yourself, how much good do I do? How many people do I help? And if you're not satisfied with the answer, make a decision you're going to change that right now. It doesn't matter that you maybe haven't done what you thought you could or would or should do in the past. The past is gone. Forget it. Let the dead bury the dead. It's gone. I have arrived at the conclusion, a long time ago, that life is so vitally important. Every day is very important. I don't want to spend time doing something that requires no real creativity or no real energy or no effort. I want to get into something every day that's really going to cause me to stretch. I was talking to Sandy and we were planning, and we're thinking of the work that we've got to get done. And some books that got to get out, and programs have to be made. And we're not doing it fast enough. We're not doing it as well as we could. And I think it's important that we really do something that makes a big difference. See, you're programmed to keep doing what you're doing. You are. But sometimes that's not what you should be doing. I love what Kyle C. says. You can always measure what you're giving up, but you can never measure what you're going to get. It's so important. It's so important we know that.
I hope you enjoyed this video. We put a lot of good information up here, and it causes everything in your life to get better. If you'd like us to notify you every time we put a new video up, hit subscribe and then turn on notifications. Check out all our videos, and we will notify you when we put a new one up.